Around the world, there are more than 84,000 missing U.S. service personnel dating back to World War II. The JPAC mission on Tarawa is special, to hopefully locate, return, and identify the remains of the United States Marines who are missing and buried here.
I just think that it's such a neat mission and such a rewarding and honorable thing to do for us to always look for our fallen brethren that never returned home. And the motto of "you are never forgotten" it is dead on, because you aren't. You know, our government does not treat you just as a number. We will always look for you. For this particular mission, our team composition starts with a team leader, which is myself. And we are in charge ultimately of command and control, logistics, and then overall safety for the team.
It appears like we may have some possible human remains in the corner of this, but I can't tell anything until I dig that down, and this down.
You also have the recovery leader, which is Dr. Fox. He is the overall scientific expert on site. And the second we step on the site, my main function, the whole team's function, is to support him in any way that we see fit.
My job is to supervise and oversee the scientific recovery of remains, to decide how deep, how far, what to dig, where to dig, when to dig. It's just like a crime scene. And the evidence we're trying to collect is the remains of missing U.S. service members. Depending on how many remains we get here, we might call one of the anthropologists down for a field forensic review. It all depends on the condition of the remains, whether they're viable for DNA, where we think they're viable for DNA, whether they have dental remains with restorations, fillings, and bridges, of how quickly it'll be done. There's a lot of missing, so it will take a while to get family reference samples if we do have to go to DNA. We have most of the individual deceased personnel files already for everybody on Tarawa.
Basically doing an improvised wet screening with the water that's already here from the water table. Once you put water on it, it really pops the bone out. I mean, you can really tell bone from coral. Pretty simple. And we're hoping we're gonna find some bone in here. Different colors of the soil pops out to you, and you can really get a better look at it. And you can tell I've already grabbed 2 bones out just from a quick look. And of course, it's all gonna go back to the lab, be analyzed, hopefully get identified.
These are highly fragmented remains. This is not going to be a very short process. If there are more than one individual, they all have to be uncommingled, and that may take cutting lots and lots of skeletal elements for DNA.
This is a successful mission. We will be taking back possible U.S. remains. And you know, that's the goal for every team that goes out, is to, you know, bring back a U.S. service member.
Before the remains found on Tarawa leave the island, a repatriation ceremony is conducted. The ceremony pays tribute to the fallen U.S. servicemen who will finally be brought back to the United States. The remains are placed in a casket, which is then honorably decorated with an American flag. The caskets will be flown to JPAC's Central Identification Laboratory, where the remains can be properly identified.
The vast majority of our teams are U.S. service members. The work that we're doing out here is to find their colleagues and comrades. They understand the family's concern. They understand that decades go by and families don't forget their loved ones.
I enjoy the fact of bringing closure to the families. And JPAC is great at that, because that's our mission, is searching for our fallen that are still out there in the other countries, and then bringing them back, get them identified at the SIL, you know, with the utmost respect and confidence and honor.
Most countries don't do this. And I don't know of any country that goes to the great lengths that the U.S. does to bring closure to families. So that's really the biggest thing that I would like people to get educated from. Our country is doing a lot of great things to keep an honored tradition of no man left behind.